Hi, everyone. How are you guys? Good. I always say it, and I always mean it. I can't see any of you because those lights are blinding me. So make some sound that I'll know you're here. You're here?
Yes.
Okay, we're almost full. That's good. All right, I'm not that boring. I really, really appreciate what B&H is doing, which is having me here, explaining things to you. And this class today is also sponsored by Tethered Tools, one of the companies that I work with, and I really love their toys. I call it toys because that's what my wife calls it. So, today I'm going to do a new class. It's a brand new class that I'm starting to do, and I think it's going to be really cool. You guys are my test subjects, and the first one is always very interesting. I have to show this because I have a really dirty mouth. So when I talk, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. This is my background, sales and marketing, not photography. I'm sorry, I keep pointing at this. I wasn't born with for a family of photographers. I really was selling women's clothes and doing IT support before I became a photographer. I've been in the country for 10 years. I've been doing photography for almost 11. And I have two websites. These are the two. You can check it out, see what I do. Until 6 months ago, my main focus was my first website, which is everything. And now I have kind of a beast on its own of a business for headshots. So I have a commercial space in DC, and that's where I do all my business. It's a very exciting class. The next video I'm going to show you will show you what this class is about. Does anybody know what tethering is?
Yes.
Does anybody not know? Don't be shy. Can't see anybody. Does anybody not know what tethering is? It's very simple. I'll answer. It's basically when you shoot tether, you're connecting your computer to the camera in some sort of some form and shape to see what you're doing. I'm going to talk about tethering. I'm going to explain it. I'm going to give you a lot of examples, show you all kinds of tools and tricks and gadgets. This is what I do right now. Every year, between 300 to 400 photo shoots, and it's only growing. I work 7.5 days a week. And 70% of those, as you can see, are done in the studio, and only 20% are on location. That means that I'm a lot of time in a contained environment, or when I say studio, I could be in a restaurant, in a room, not moving, chasing a bride somewhere. 90% of all these photo shoots are tethered. Why am I doing it? Because my workflow is the most important thing for me. That's the only way I can keep doing 400 photo shoots a year and not be stuck. So I'm going to give you examples and show you how all that works. I transitioned to more headshots and more commercial work, and I realized that I have to optimize my workflow. Without doing it, I'll be behind. I'm going to spend 10 hours shooting and then 10 hours doing post-production and running emails to clients and picking photos. Sometimes I go into an office and I do 60 headshots a day. Now imagine if you're doing one person's headshot. If you came to my studio and you said, hey, I'm going to pay you whatever and do my headshot. Okay, I got to run. You have to run. I'm going to send you an email later with 30 options. Pick one, take another few days, send it to me. I'm going to retouch, send it to you. You're going to say, I changed my mind. It's been a week already. Show me the others. We're going to go back and forth. Now multiply that by the 60 people I do a day. It's going to be insane, right? So instead of that, I show clients the photos on the spot. But if you show clients the photos on the back of a camera, will they be able to tell what's going on? They can barely tell if they're smiling or not. So it's not ideal. So that's why I'm tethering, to optimize my workflow, to lock the shot on the spot. It's very, very simple. I started doing it a long time ago with all kinds of wireless gadgets. iFi is great. That's one option. I'll talk about it later. I work with Canon, so Canon has its own wireless adapter. That's fine too. But I found after a lot of back and forth, the most reliable is the cable. And that's the cheapest as well, so I'm going to demo that. So the tethering, as I mentioned, is the process of connecting your camera to the computer with a cable of some sort. That's it. Very simple. You actually took a picture of that? Cool. Can I have the picture? I'm just kidding. All right. So saving the time is really what it's all about. As I wrote there, process time time down from 5 days to 1 hour. That process I described to you about proofing your headshots over email, down to 1 hour. So now when people come in for a headshot, I work with them, and on the spot we're tethering. We're locking the image, and we're going to do all that later. It's going to be really, really cool. So I'm 10 times more productive. And spending a week almost with a client, and with a company would be months, because I tell you, because I used to do that actually. It's a nightmare. Now I lock everything on the spot, so it all becomes less than an hour. Any questions so far? Because we just started. Okay, good. Pros and cons of tethering. Very, very simple. The workflow. Well, you see your images on the spot, and you see them on a big screen. I photographed this guy's book. Actually, I photographed 2 of his books already. And even we're outside, outdoor in the woods doing all kinds of karate poses. We have a laptop on the spot with a cable, and he comes and sees the shot. And we're not moving to the next shot on the shot list until we know we got it. And it's a lot easier, again, to see it on an iPad or a laptop. So we're confirming the shot, and we're saving a lot of time. What are the cons of photographing tethering? As you can see, on the wireless, it's really slow. I shoot RAW, so I tried it once and it didn't work. If you have to work wirelessly, you can set your camera to shoot RAW plus small JPEGs. You guys familiar with that? Most cameras will do that. So it's slow if you're shooting RAW, and the wireless also requires prepping. You have to set some kind of a network. You have to either, when it's Wi-Fi or when it's your camera's wireless adapter, even some cameras have built-in wireless. It's not as smooth. You'll realize at the end of the day, when you're a pro and you're really shooting volume, cable is the way to go. It doesn't require any setup. As soon as you plug it into the computer recognizes the camera. Here's a few examples. Family portrait in the studio. The clients, and you know this, everybody who ever worked with a client anywhere knows that the second you show the client a good photo on the back of the camera, they're getting more impressed with your work, and they're more motivated to participate and take a more active part in your photo shoot. Imagine showing it on the bigger screen. They're standing over there. This is authentic. I did not tell them to smile because I'm doing some kind of a slide for a class. This is how they reacted to seeing the photos. And the older the person, the client is, the closer they're going to have to look or tell you, look, I can't see really. Can I see it? Let me get my glasses. This works. So I have a preset actually in Lightroom. I use Lightroom when I tether. I have a preset that as soon as the photo gets imported, I add a little bit of contrast and saturation. The client is even more impressed. So that's something you want to do. This is really cool. Look at this. We could not do this photo shoot in 45 minutes if we didn't have the ability to see this image coming to life. I had a photo editor sitting on my computer in the studio while I'm taking a photo of this veteran, this wounded soldier. I'm going to run this slide again to show you. We did this shot, and then the next shot. Let me a little technical. Hold on. Here we go. We took 6 shots in maybe 20 minutes between changing clothes, but we were able to lock the shot every time and produce this animated image to be able to see how it's going to look at the end. So that's another option. If you're working in a studio environment, you have a graphic designer or someone editing the photos, they have them on the computer the second you shoot them. This is the actual shot and the final image. So we shot them obviously in the studio on a gray background. We bought stock images, sliced it right in the middle, added amazing work by the graphic designer, by the way, added shadow to make it look real. And we confirmed it, that we got it. A lot of times you can't go back and edit a photo. And that's really tricky. A lot of times when I do someone's headshot, I can say, you know what, if it doesn't look good, come back tomorrow. But you can't really do that when you're, for example, this shoot, we're photographing a pizza book for a restaurant. It would cost a lot of money to close half the restaurant, to clear the space, for her to take a day off, and it's going to cost me a lot of money to redo it again because I have an assistant, I have an editor, and all that. Good stuff. So again, if you can't go back, you want to lock the shot on the spot. This is really the key element here. You see how my laptop is on the floor, but it's got the cable connected to it. So when I'm doing commercial shoots, time is really, really, really key because you can't add more time. It's one of my favorite shots. We'll do something very similar to that today, by the way. When I'm doing headshots, I'm working with a very, very wide aperture. I'm shooting at f2.8 or even wider. And what I've noticed recently is when this is my laptop I've been serving well, and I'm tethered to this one, and I'm seeing the image on the screen. This is not the laptop. This is a 21-inch iMac. But I was working with a laptop for a long time, and I realized that I'm getting old. I think I got the focus. At 2.8, you're going to miss the focus really easily, right? I think I got the focus. The client picked images on the spot in Lightroom. And then I go back and I realize I picked one where the focus moves from the eye to the ear or to the hair or whatever it is. And I'm screwed. They locked their image. They picked it. I'm lucky I'm going to find something really similar where they can't tell the difference. So what I did is I got a good deal on a 21-inch iMac, and my studio now has a huge rig that I'm tethered to. So every shot I take, boom, on a big 21-inch display. Even better. When I'm on the go, I'm using the laptop. But most of the headshots that I use wide aperture, I use in the studio. It's much better than a 2.5-inch or 3-inch LCD on a camera. Do you guys agree? Right? So it's very crucial in shots like this to be able to lock your focus. The bigger the picture, the better you'll be able to. You don't need to zoom when you're looking at it this big. This is the workflow that I have for headshots, and I do a lot of those now. It's a 1-hour session. 1 hour instead of 5 days. Why is it 1 hour instead of 5 days? It's not that I would be photographing 5 days, but I would be going back and forth with the client for 5 days. I spend 30 minutes shooting it, 10 minutes standing with the client over my shoulder, picking their images in Lightroom, as you can see. And then I spend 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes submitting them for retouching, sending in the files. That's it. The next thing, the client will get an email from me. As far as they're concerned, the other photos are gone. So I have 10 minutes break between clients. It's the easiest $500 an hour I'll ever make. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I wasn't tethering. The reason I'm doing this class is not because I'm here to encourage you to buy a $15 USB cable. Trust me. I'm encouraging you to better your workflow. Okay? Let's see. I'm doing a lot of catalog shoots and fashion shoots. See, Debbie's still introducing me as a wedding photographer, but I do a lot more than weddings. Weddings only happen on the weekend. I work 330 days a year. Some days I do 10 shoots a day. Separate clients. So this client came in and they had 150 items, and we had to do it in 10 hours. So if you do the math right, it's 4 minutes per dress, per top, per shirt, whatever it is. You can't afford to miss the shot because then the client will have to come back and set up again, and it's going to cost them more money. So they tell you, I have to do this in 4 minutes an item. Again, zero time for mistakes. Very quick scenario that has to happen. I'm going to show you another video that I really, really like. Same thing, just from 3 days ago, literally. You can see I moved the tether station usually on this side. When I'm working with it, I moved it all the way for the client. That's the computer that I use. And these are all the tools that Tether Tools has to offer. The Visa mount for the laptop and the cables, which I'm going to show you in a second. Same thing. Sorry, this is another little video. Now, when I'm doing books and editorial shots and things like that, I actually mirror my laptop sometime to a big screen. That's another easy thing to do, either wireless or cable. But the client doesn't even have to look on a laptop or a 21-inch. He has a 65-inch TV to look at the photos. Imagine every photo I take today is going to be on this big screen. That's ideal. All right, so let's talk about how we're doing it. Wired or wireless? It's up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. The wireless options, you want to take a picture? Go ahead.
No.
No, it's okay, go ahead. I was joking.
Oh,
All right,
thank you.
no problem. This is the wireless for Canon. If you use Nikon, I'm sure there's some solution. I'm just not familiar. This is the wireless file transmitter that I'm using with my camera. And the iFi card. iFi card is great. I used it a lot, especially when I'm really on the go and I don't want to carry a laptop. It can shoot the images straight to your iPad. And that's another good way to do it. The disadvantage for the iFi is that it will shoot up JPEGs and you may mark them, but then you have to go and match the raw files, and it slows down the process, and I like to go fast because I want to move to the next shoot. There's a rule in my book: every time you're holding a camera, you're making money. If you're holding a mouse, you're losing money. So I'd rather hold a camera than hold a mouse. So the wired is my best option. Quicker and works better. And there's so many great tools to make sure that the cables don't have the problems they used to have. First of all, they made them longer. And there's a lot of gadgets that make sure the cables don't go anywhere. That's all you need, basically, to tether. Look, you already have a laptop or a computer, and you already have a camera. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting in this room. So you just need a $10 or $15 cable. And of course, a software to see the images coming in. This is a page that if you guys want to remember to know which cable is good for your camera, that's the link. They have basically a cable compatibility chart. You tell them which camera you have, which laptop, which computer, they'll tell you which cable you need. Now I'm going to show you my favorite gadget. It's even cheaper, I think, than the cable. It's called a jerk stopper. Kind of a funny name, but I don't care. On the link, here you go. It's and I'm sure you can find it on their website, or even if you Google the Tether tools, cable compatibility. But go ahead, write it down. So the jerk stopper, my favorite tool, because one of the worst things that happen when you are tethered, and I'm going to actually start setting up a little bit of stuff here. Doesn't matter right now where it's connected to. The one end of the cable always goes to the camera, right? And we all know that it disconnects because it's a USB. It doesn't have any threading or screwing in. And so easily it'll fall. It'll disconnect if somebody pushes it, pulls it, you pull the camera or twisted it. So my favorite tool is literally this little guy here. One part of it is locked on the cable. All right, I'll show you this way. It's locked on the cable. See? And the other part is attached here to the camera. It's a little piece of plastic that I never take off even if I go shoot a wedding. It's not in the way. So it stays on it permanently. And when I start a shoot, I've literally done this 300 times this year. It's connected. That's it. It's not going anywhere. It may take the camera with it, but the cable will not disconnect from the camera, which is another problem sometimes. And there you go. Now look, because it's got that little stopper here, it's fine. So that's the jerk stopper. My favorite tool. Jerk stoppers are not only for the camera side. You can plug them to the table. They have different versions of them. This one simply clamps to a table. They have one that will go into the network plug. So that one actually locks into the computer. And it's great because that way your cables don't disconnect from the computer side. Here's my camera with the jerk stopper. So if it's on a tripod or anything like that, even better. On the other end, I use a clamp. So my camera is here, and this goes on the laptop. But a lot of times, you move the laptop, you turn it for the client to see and all that kind of stuff, and it disconnects. So I have this cable. Again, it locks here. secures itself to the actual cable. And I put a piece of gaffer's tape just to secure it so it doesn't slide. And that's it. And now, if this got pulled a little bit, it didn't take the laptop away with it. Okay? Of course, if you pull really strong, the whole thing will go down, but that doesn't matter. It's really, really basic stuff, but it's so useful. I never thought it's something, I thought really you want to get the cool stuff, you have to spend thousands of dollars. This is like the really coolest stuff. This is a bigger version of that cable if you go into some place that have like really thick kind of tables. So I brought that with me too. The strap more, this is really cool. Where did we put it? Oh, it's actually here. So I'm going to lift up this thing to show you what's the usability of it. If it's not clear from the screen, there you go. It's right here, connected to the table. You guys see it? And you can connect to it. They made it originally for putting the laptop's power cords, power adapter here and locking it really nicely. Because when you're working, you just want to avoid cables. But I've actually seen people put a speed light in it for certain things. So that's cool too. This thing itself is the Tether table itself. The Tether Tools Aero table, which is, I'm going to unlock it. There it is. You go into a location to shoot a company. You take a light stand with you or a tripod, and you take this. This comes in a suitcase, so it actually becomes really easy to carry it. Okay? Not going to go on too much about it, just to tell you that it is very, very useful. You put your laptop on it, which we're going to do soon when we do the demo. Okay? We're cool? All right. So that's the strap more. Any questions about it? It's kind of self-explanatory, right? It's got Velcros. This is the table I just showed you. Comes in different shapes, forms, sizes, colors, versions, bigger ones, smaller ones. If you use it on a tripod head, ball head or any kind, or you have an elbow that tilts down, then you'll be able to, I can't do it here because I don't have that part, but you'll be able to hold it tilted down, almost like this podium is. And they also have a little bungee cord that holds the laptop, so that's another useful tool. And this is how my studio looks any given day when I'm doing photo sessions. This is my roller stand with a million cables. They're all tucked in. And that's my laptop, and that's a tether table right here, attached on a side arm to a light stand. And that's it. My keyboard is on it. I got special drawers. We had a drawer here. I want to show it to you. We had it. It has been. But in any case, it's got a little special attachment here that I have that's a cup holder. It's really cool. I feel like I'm driving. Comes out, put a cup on it, and it also has a hard drive drawer here. Very, very basic stuff, but makes sense when you're doing volume of work. It's in the catalog, right? There's brochures. We can get more from the back for you if you want. So those are really my favorite tools. I'm almost ready to do the demo. You guys ready? I'm going to photograph Maeve here. Did I say her name properly? Yeah. Okay, just checking. And I'll show you how it looks, how it works, how easy it is, and how beneficial it is to tether. Any questions before I start? Yes? No?
I guess you're going to use Lightroom to tether, right?
Yes, yes, definitely. I'm going to use Lightroom to tether. I'm used to it. The second you turn on your camera, this thing pops up. See? Canon EOS utility. I'm sure Nikon has an equivalent. And that's it. I can control the camera remotely. I don't need to, but let's say I wanted to. And there you go. So the image is already here. Okay? So now the rest is really just about shooting and how you shoot. That's up to you. I'm going to set my camera to ISO 100, f4, 160th of a second. And Maeve, would you please come up? You guys have to tell me if I flash you guys with my, because I lost a pound and now the belt is totally off. So what I want you to do, and that's something I do, is, can everybody see? Good. Have you seen this before?
No.
Or this? Passport color checker. That's just to make sure that later when I do post-production, I get the most accurate, perfect white balance. It'll all come in handy because I'm actually going to do this part with you guys. When I'll ask you, I'm just going to have you, actually we'll use the colorful side. I'm going to have you hold it like this. And I want to try and get this right line with the eye. Okay? But right now you don't have to. Just keep it handy. I'm going to move the light a little, just a hair towards here. In the studio, this would be a wheel stand. So it's easier to move it around, shape the light. Here we're kind of going to work around it. And I'm going to grab my camera. And again, every test shot I do, I am not looking at the LCD, I'm looking at my laptop. Can you take a little step this way? All right. And my rule with lighting is always start from the lowest setting. It's on 2 out of 10, which is going to be barely any light. Well, you're intense. Did it even pop? It's so weak, it's nothing. You'll see it doesn't even show. When I'm with the clients, you got to learn your, anybody here uses Lightroom? Most of you? Good. Learn your Lightroom shortcuts, because in 2 clicks, I just made the full size, full screen. And then Shift-Tab makes it, throws all the panels away. Shift-Tab again brings the panels. But you noticed how I lost all this part and all this part? By hitting Shift-F twice. It rotates between 3 levels of screen to full screen. And now I'm going to bring my power up. I literally taken it to 5. So now what I want to do is take the power even more, and I'm using my remote. I took the power from 5 to 7, so it's 2 full stops. Let's take a little step back and a little, just a hair, good. Nice, we're starting to look really good. Now when you're working in the studio, this is a lot easier to work with than this. Okay, agreed? Not for you from where you are, but even for me, this is much better. And so now I'm taking the light down. Sometimes I use the remote, sometimes I use the pack over there. Nice, I want you to turn your chin just a little bit. There you go, because I want to, there you go. Beautiful. Easy, right? Let me show you a quick version. Yeah, let's set it up, if you don't mind. What I'm going to do is just while we're doing it, we're not going to stretch the cable yet, but let's set up a secondary just to get a little rim light for fun. So let's assume she's my client, okay? I want you to come over here, over my shoulder, because now we're taking a break between outfits, between scenes, and I'm going to do this with you, okay? And we're going to see what we like. We like this, and I'm obviously just playing here, right, guys? And this, and this. And then, see, you got to know your shortcuts. And I show her 4 images. And my deal with my clients is, for what they're paying me for the 1 hour in the headshot session, they go home with 2 files. But there we picked 4. She has 2 options to pay me for the extra images, or pick her 2, okay? So that is a lot easier. If I had to email her 4 images, it would take another week. Here on the spot, she can tell me which one she likes better, and boom. I go like this, and I press, oh, you like this one? Let's take a look at it again. Let's zoom in, make sure we got the focus. Tack sharp. If you can count the eyelashes, you know you have the focus locked. Does it get any better than this? Maybe that? No. Okay? Boom. I press 6. 6 gives it a red label in Lightroom. Okay? See? That's it. Now even better, everybody here knows about Dropbox or Google Drive, one of those things. So I have my Tether station in the studio, and downstairs where me and my studio manager and graphic designer are sitting and working, we all share the same Dropbox. I set my Lightroom, my tethering settings is to drop all those images straight into the Dropbox. So, you know what was the last time I actually put a card reader in the memory card reader? I'm sorry, a card in the memory card reader? Like 2 years ago. The photos are already on the Dropbox. Within a few minutes, they're going to synchronize to their computer. The XMP files are already synchronized. Look at the file name. That image she picked already has an up-to-date XMP. So if I edited or simply left a rating on it to 5-star and a red label, My workflow and my graphic designer's workflow dictates that any image with 5-star in red label is what they need to Photoshop and deliver to the client. And let's do a few more, okay? Because I'm going to show you how it works. So we have a second light. Okay, I'm starting to see that light. I'm going to close my aperture to 4.5. Let me actually add that information on the screen so you guys can see it. How you doing? And you can see the difference between this one, pretty dark. And that's for you. Now, if I looked on this, look at this. If I check this on the screen, it looks just as good as any other shot. But when I'm looking on such a big screen, the one before, I'm noticing the shadow here. You may have missed it if you're looking on an LCD. That's the purpose of why I'm here. Not to show you how you shoot a headshot. That doesn't matter. There's better people to teach you how to do all that. But you can see what I'm looking for with the second light. It's that rim light. Okay? So if I still want to get that rim light and not have a harsh shadow on her, I either have her tuck that bang, or I'm going to have Steven kind of skim the light a little bit from behind. That's it. Let me just close this and start the EOS utility, because obviously I'm a lot more comfortable in that zone. All right, want to hold it? Nice. And you want to use actually I don't want you to cover with your fingers the actual color. That's good. Yeah, nice. And give me a nice smile. Beautiful. Okay, so let's get, when you hit W, it's giving you you see, so look, this one did create that Instagram filter. So we don't want to have it, okay? Because when you do color checking, you definitely don't want to do it with Instagram filter. So you hit W and you can sample white balance. And you can see that this is the right skin tone, and it's kind of warm. It lets you do cool and warm. Do me a favor, flip the inside. It's got like a page. Yep, you can break it. It's okay. Show me that one. Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm actually going to focus on it and smile. There you go. It's going to apply that preset again. I'm going to reset it. Boom, you see what it did? So now I'm going to sample from the gray card. Very similar. This one set up white balance for 6100 +1, and this one a +2. Because when you're sampling from these, the difference is the warmth and tonality. But they're all accurate. With this one, it's basic. All right? Does that make sense? You can't do that in a camera. There is no tool. That by itself is a reason for me to work with a laptop. Commercial shoots, color is everything. Let's turn your chin this way just a hair. Beautiful. It's so easy. And I'm shooting it here at f4.5 just because I'm not doing my headshots at a wide aperture. But if I shot this at 2.8, actually, let me show you. Why not? Why don't we do that? I'm opening it to 2.8, and it's probably going to be, I reduced my ISO to 50, but it's a little over. So I'm going to lower the power here. Yeah, but you know what? That preset will kill you. Okay, the exposure is perfect. So look, even on such a big screen, you almost think you got the shot, but look what happens. I'm zooming in, and I see that I don't, and I can see it here on the screen, so I'm just going to do it. This is a 2.8, that's why. And this happens a lot. Let's get rid of that preset. Better. All right, look at that. Got it. You won't be able to lock the shot on this. I'm going to have Maeve come here, and I'm going to show her the photos over the shoulder. This is how I work with every client. I impress them, I proof with them, I do whatever I need to do to make sure that I don't have to email them proofs later, that they don't come back and say, was there a better shot? Here's where we see all of those, and we like this, and we like this, and one of these. Different expressions. This is just a preference of how you want to work. And let's say she liked this and I liked it. So now I'm going to just hit Command A to select all of those, only the 5 stars. Hit N to show everybody all the photos on the screen. You can hit L twice for lights out, which is a great feature. Totally takes away all the distractions on the screen. You got to learn your Lightroom shortcuts. And now it's obvious for her what she likes, what she doesn't like, even if she doesn't like any of them. So yeah, I will show the clients the images, and they're gonna lock the shot on the spot. There you go, all of them. Clients sometimes are saying, what did you do? How do you make this work? They know a little bit of Lightroom, so they see that this workflow, there's no distractions. And again, if you know your shortcuts, you can eliminate. Client says, you know what? Here, Maeve, come back. Let's do it. Let's kind of take it from there. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see enlarged or something like that.
Sure.
And you can pretend.
Yeah, I like that one.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Tell me what you don't like. Let's say the client has to leave the studio with not more than 3 images. Okay, we got to start narrowing them down, right? Well, we definitely don't like that one, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm holding the command button and I'm clicking the mouse.
Don't like
And
that.
the image gets unselected. And the N key only shows you the selected images. Don't like that. All right, keep going. That's a test shot, right?
Yep.
Test shot,
That
test
one.
shot, test shot. All right, we're making progress. Is there anything you really like?
Yes. Yeah, I like that one. I like that one.
All right, so she's pointing. I'm highlighting it. I'm hitting 6. And this one you said?
The one next to it.
This one?
Yeah.
The
Or, no, that one. Sorry.
that one, yeah. That's what I said.
Sorry.
What else? Pick one more. You're nice.
that
I'm
one.
gonna let you have one more. Boom. Okay, I'm hitting lights out again to see it. And now I'm going to, I hit 6 every time she picked a favorite. Remember, the 5 stars is what I want to show them. The 6 is what's going to end up being a final. And now, there's your 3 images. Client says, thank you very much. How do I pay the balance? And they leave. And that's it. I never have to go back to that Lightroom. What else I can show you? This is the website that has all kinds of questions answered, Tethered Talk. It's part of Tethered Tools. And over there below that is my website with the workshops that we do, so you're welcome to check it out. And it's the same here. This is how you guys can stay in touch with me. I love connecting with everybody, so I'm going to be here again. I come here at least once a month to do a couple of classes. I'd love to see you guys again. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, B&H has the answers to your questions. Experience a world of technology at our New York City Superstore. Connect with us online or give us a call. Our staff of experts is happy to help.